we're live. Today I have the honor of interviewing 88 Blessed Beats. In the process right now of releasing his debut album entitled Blessings. A new single just dropped last night entitled Armageddon, featuring Maze Overlay and AR, and it's a banger. We're going to bring him in, talk to him about his new project, the new single, what he's currently working on, and future plans. Let's go ahead and bring him in.
Hey,
Peace, my brother. How you doing?
What's good, boss? How you doing, man?
Man, what an awesome period of time in your creative career. You've been grinding, making production, honing your craft, making connections, growing the network, growing the discography and the catalog of people you've worked with. And here we are, Armageddon just dropped, the debut album Blessings about to drop.
Yep.
Talk to us about this project.
Man, listen, this has been a long time coming, man. First off, thank you for having me on here, man. I love your platform. It's definitely a dope platform. Every time you have something, I'm always tapped in. So I just want to say thank you again for having me on. But yeah, this is actually a EP that's been in the work for a while. This is actually leading up to another project that I'm doing called the LCI Project, which was named after my aunt who passed away from cancer. So this one is like a little, I guess you could say, it's my debut project. It's a 6-piece that I feel like y'all would love. Obviously, I dropped the first single today, Armageddon, with Maze and AR. I hope you like it and everything. But I can't wait for y'all to hear this full project. It's dope.
The new single Armageddon with Maze Overlay and AR is a banger. It is so dope the way the drums come in. Your ear is special. You're known for your drums and putting together, really dope samples with really ill drums. Talk to us about this song and how that all came about with collaborating with Maze Overlay and AR. The way Maze says in the opening line, my feature's like a cosign, right? Man. So talk to us how that all came together.
So, I'm sure that you've been tapped into a lot of my IG lives where I'm on there making beats and things of that nature. And obviously, Coach to God, shout out to Coach.
Shout out Coach to God.
Yes, shout out to Coach. So I made this beat a while ago, and I know, there's times where Coach would be like, yo, man, send me a pack. I need something. So what's crazy about this song is that this song actually came about probably like, let's say about a week or two ago. Like this just came out of nowhere. So I'm asleep and I wake up, the next morning and I get a text from Coach. He's like, yo, check your email. And I'm like, Armageddon, Maze Overlay, and AR. And I'm like, Maze? I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So I turned it on, and then immediately I remember this beat because I sent it to him a while back. And he was like, man, that's a missile right there. So I played it and I'm like, oh yeah, they both snapped on it. I was like, yep, it was insane. And I'm like, just the way that they flow over the sample, it's just everything was just perfect. So it was good.
Now it's a really dope track. Those are two incredible MCs, right? Definitely. Maze Overlay and AR, and they both work a lot with Coach to God, Black House Records, right? That whole movement that's happening that you're a part of, right? Talk to us about what it's like working with Coach, Jamil Honesty, Black House Records, and the stable of artists that are now connected in this network.
Yeah. So first off, Black House is the squad. Got the hoodie on. So working with Jamil and Coach has been great. They're both very supportive of me and in my producer journey. I've only been making beats for about 2.5 years now. So, I'm new in the game, still got my feet wet and, just trying to figure things out. But being on Black House has definitely been an honor and a privilege, just being, tied to such a great MC like Jamil. Jamil is one of the illest rappers I've ever heard. And, just to be tied in with him and being able to work with him on a day in, day out basis, just being able to send him beats and, bounce ideas off of him and, everything like that, it was great. And then, when I first started, he actually put me on Harbor Kids, the first Harbor Kids. As I produced Crazy, and that was like the lead single off of Harbor Kids. So that was definitely a moment for me, and I'm thankful about that. And it's just been a great journey so far, and there's a lot more to come. So
That's dope, man. Yeah, Jamil's such a good brother. His voice is so dope, man, and his
Yeah,
pen is dope. And he, you know, he can hit you with the one-liners, but he has a vulnerability that he allows people in to places that only artists do that,
exactly.
right? Like most people, they walk around, you know, everybody's just tough. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Nobody says
Exactly.
hi. But artists that are like really, you know, really open up and allow people to feel that human side, and Jamil does that.
Exactly.
And you shared with us that the new project that's dropping, Blessings, this six piece, you know, the 6-piece appetizers leading into a bigger project that you talked to us about. Yeah, talk to us about that project and who it's named after.
Okay, so it's called the LCI Project. It's named after my aunt Linda Carroll Ireland. That's her full name. She passed away. It's been about 7-8 years now from cancer. She's like my second mother. So this project will be named after her. The cover art is just going to be like a self-portrait of her. It's one of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen. And on the back, I want to tell Coach, I have a picture of me kneeling at her gravesite with flowers, and that's going to be the back of the cover art. But yeah, that project is going to be at least, I could say, 12 to 15 tracks. You know, I don't want to give away who's going to be on it yet, but you know, it's going to be worth it. So like I said, Blessings is my debut as a producer, just putting anything out. But I really can't wait for y'all, you know, between Blessings and then hearing the next project is definitely going to be something that y'all will enjoy. So
that's dope, man. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, man. You know, I appreciate you.
Yeah, brother. You know, I think it's always, we all go through things, right? And artists, when they share that through their whatever medium it is, you know, as a producer, as an MC, as a muralist, and you create a mural, it helps us be human.
Exactly.
You know, because we all go through things. So I think it's an honor to her and her family, and it's keeping it real to yourself. Exactly. You know, and you may have 30 projects, 40 projects, 100 projects by the time it's all said and done, but making your first big project and remembrance of her, yeah, that's really special. That's really dope. And you're rocking with Black House Records, so I know that they're working to make it all a real special project. But Blessings, when do we have a date when it's going to hit digital streaming platforms?
We don't have one as of yet. I'm thinking within the next week or two. Like I said, I wanted to drop this single off just so you guys know it's coming. So you know, it's all there. The track list is there. You guys know it's coming. I'm just gonna chop it up with Coach and, you know, finalize the date. So it shouldn't be too far away. So you guys should be getting that real soon.
That's dope, man. Yeah, you got to let it breathe a little bit. Y'all just release Armageddon.
Exactly.
Let it circulate the playlist.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So
and let people digest it, then hit them with the rest of it. You know, you did release, you know, I'm not sure what you would call it, like a digital promotion little sizzler that has the back of, you know, the track list.
The track list, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
To let people know, like, yo, this is coming. And I screenshotted that at Jamil and wrote it down because it moves quick. It was like boom, front, boom, back. But, you know, there's a who's who on there, but we're talking French Connection, Armageddon, which dropped, My Brother's Keeper with Staxxx and Squeegee Oblong, Roman Candles with Jamil, that's floating around out there.
Yep.
Blessed with Josiah the Gift, and that's floating around out there.
Yep.
But there's another joint with some heavyweights.
Yeah,
called
man.
Dirty Air Ones with Bubstyles, Chubs, Dusty Reynolds.
Yep.
That sounds to me like, you know, if Armageddon is kind of like this joint that just dropped that's got Maze and AR, that sounds like another single that's going to drop. Can you tell us about this track that nobody's heard yet?
It's definitely a banger. You know, salute the Coach for putting that all together. The beat is crazy, so I can't wait for y'all to hear the beat. And it's just dirty hip hop. It's just everything from top to bottom. Every verse is just crazy. It's wild. So when y'all hear this one, you're gonna be like, oh my God, like it's the epitome of underground hip hop. Put it that way. When you hear this, it's gonna be like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it would be.
Oh man, that's dope. You know, we talked about you getting in the production game, right? Rather recently in the last few years, but you've got the ear, you're a music lover. Can you talk to us about your journey in hip hop, your love for hip hop?
Yeah, so I've always been a fan of hip hop. My brother, who, like I said, I've had so many deaths in my family, bro. It's crazy. My brother, who passed away at a young age, he was like in his 40s. He had congestive heart failure. He was a bigger guy,
Wow.
but when I was little, I would always ride around in the car with him, and he would have Biggie and Nas and Jay-Z and anything that he was a big he was a huge Wu-Tang fan. So, I would be in the car as a kid, just listening to this stuff, and I'd be nodding my head as a kid, not knowing what I'm listening to. But I knew that it sounded good.
Yeah.
So I knew that's where my love of hip hop first started. And then just growing up, I was never the biggest fan, and I know that you'll know what I'm talking about. More than mainstream hip hop, like I listen to the Coles and the Kendricks and stuff like that, but when it comes to like that underground gritty feel, like I'd rather listen to Rock Marciano before I listen to anybody.
Yeah.
So it's like that balance between your mainstream hip hop and then the ones that are like on the underground. I'm a huge Benny fan, Conway fan. So it's like when it comes to that sound, I learned that from my brother who passed. He was big on that gritty underground type of hip hop. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm sorry for your loss for your brother. That's beautiful that you played a major role in introducing hip hop to you. And I imagine that as you create these gritty, grimy, underground bangers, you feel some sort of connection to him and when you were a young kid coming up, riding shotgun with your big bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where that all comes from, man. It's just it's like it's like a fresh breath of air. It's like that good nostalgic feeling. It's like
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yep.
Yeah, I love hip hop, man. And hip hop, nobody knew it'd be as big as it's gotten, right? And it's and Burger King commercials, and you know what I'm saying, like on CNN the anchors are talking, using hip hop quotables, and you know what I'm saying, and it's good. I mean, let's not put any limit on it. Let it go as big as rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like as big as everything. It's gonna have branches to break off, but that good old,
gritty,
grimy.
grimy,
you don't need anybody's permission. We're not asking permission
at all. And
sample
like
what I want, release what I want. You know what I'm saying?
And like it's crazy that you say that, because I feel like the underground has definitely risen in the past, to say decade, to the point to where you have to notice the underground now. It's like, Griselda came up with no backing at all. They said, we're not going to change our sound for nobody. If you like us, or you either like us or you don't. And people just started gravitating to that grimy, gritty sound. People that, there's females that I'm cool with that I'll play that stuff in my car, and they'll be like, who's this? I'm like, oh, that's Benny the Butcher. And they're like, oh, who is that? I've never heard him, but I like his music. I'm like, yeah, it's that gritty underground sound that it's like, you could just never diminish it,
Yeah. And now that's dope. Can you share with us a bit about your workflow, like how you do it, how you actually get creative? What's it like? You know what I'm saying? Like, and share whatever comes to mind in regards to your process. Like, how do you create? Does it just come to you spontaneously? Do you have work hours where you create? How do you dig? How do you search? How do you do it all?
Okay, so there's times where I would be working, and besides being on conference calls and things like that, I'll have my earpods in. So either one of my probably best friends, Xavier, shout out to the Triangle Offense, me, him, and Sire, with 3 producers, we call ourselves the Triangle Offense. He'll send me a playlist of like just samples. Like he'll have a Spotify playlist of like 800-900 songs. I'll be like, bro, send me that playlist again. And I'll literally sit there sometimes while I'm going through emails and stuff and just listen to music. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, yep, save that. I like that. I know what I'm gonna do with that later. Oop, save that. And I'll just keep doing that.
And these are samples.
My workday. These are samples. Yep. So it could be from anything from horror movie samples to soul samples to I sample some of the most outlandish stuff you could ever think of. So it's like that's where you find some of the best things is when you're not looking for it. So
that's the creativity, right? You're a curator of sound.
Right, exactly. So it's like I've sampled some wild things from like Russian TV commercials. I've sampled stuff from like it's just outlandish stuff, man. So it's or sometimes I'll just sit there late at night, or I'll pour a drink or something, and I'll go through my YouTube playlist and I'll just sit there and just sip a little bit and, you know, catch a vibe or whatever, and just like, oh, okay, I like this sample. I'm gonna do something with this a little bit later. So that's basically what I do, you know.
So that's the digging part. So the digging part, you're more digital, right? So you're like, you're finding a variety of sounds, but they're coming through a digital medium, right?
Yeah.
It's not vinyl, it's not CDs, it's not VHS tapes. So it's mostly digital.
So sometimes I have used vinyl. I've been at my friend's house because I actually have to get a new vinyl player. I'll sit at his house with my equipment, and I'll sit there and we'll just be sitting there, you know, chopping it up. And he'll be like, "Yo, bro, I went to the vinyl store last week and I got a whole new case of vinyl. Let's just go through it." I'm like, "Okay." So we'll just sit there and he'll just play vinyl, and we'll just sit there, have a beer or have a drink, and just talk. And we'll be like, "Oh, that sample's crazy. Yeah, take that. We're gonna do something with that." And like, you know, it's fun. You know, it's really fun because when you're searching for vinyl, it's not like you can really like pick it up and listen to it off the rip. It's like you're going off like, and this is funny to me. I go off how crazy the cover looks. Like if the cover looks crazy, the sample's got to be insane. Like something's in there that's like, you know. So that's how I'm like. If it's some wild looking cover, I'm like, yeah, pick that up. Yep.
Yeah. If there's a girl on the cover.
Exactly.
If there's a girl on a cover and it's like a dope pic and it's got kind of sexy, that shit's always got fire. I don't know why.
It's just like
Ohio
take that.
players. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. The thing that I find so interesting is how through, you know, history of music and sound and also film soundtracks and movies and TV shows, you go through different formats, like different mediums, right? So you got the vinyl era, then cassettes, and then CDs, and then vinyl makes a comeback because hip hop and DJs, you know what I'm saying? But there's so much stuff that doesn't make it from one format to another. You know, so that's why vinyl is so valuable, and really cassettes and other older formats, because you can't find that stuff again because they didn't make the jump.
Nope, exactly. And honestly, I've also learned this too, and one of my producer friends actually brought this to my attention too, that sometimes when you sample things through vinyl, it just sounds better. It's like, it just sounds like, because remember, like when that stuff sometimes is being transferred over, it's being digitized, so it doesn't sound as raw and real. That's why they say, yo, the best beats are made through vinyl, because that sample's raw. Like it's not like it hasn't been touched, it hasn't been messed with. Sometimes it's pitched a little bit, like it's a lot of things going on. So yeah, like I said, vinyl is definitely the most purest form of sampling.
It's like the equipment was bigger. It wasn't like in a laptop, right? They had big tubes and the mic, everything was bigger, and you can only make things so small before you start to lose some of the feeling and the vinyl, the grooves, right? It wasn't a little file on your phone, right? It's an actual, and all of that creates a deeper sound, right? So you know, one of the things that's interesting is like I'll listen to Sirius XM. And I like to listen to like the soul stations, and I like to listen to like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and then I'll jump up into the 90s, and you know, they got it by decade. And it's real interesting how when you hit the 90s on the Sirius XM, the whole sound changes.
It changes.
So even though we're listening through a digital medium, everything's been turned into a WAV file or an MP3. The analog feel is still in that 70s, 60s music. You can still hear the thickness of the sound, the whole band, the groove, you can hear it. And it jumps into the 90s and it gets real crispy. You know what I'm saying?
Like I love that, like you said, that big band type of, you know, like I've sampled some big band stuff before, and I just love that sound, you know, like it's just, you know, it's great music, you know?
As a producer, you know, for upcoming producers, what machine do you use? What software do you use? What advice can you give an up-and-coming producer?
So I use the Machine MK3. So it's like the minier one. I don't have the full one. You know, there's a like I guess the bigger version of the Machine, and then they have like the smaller version. I have the smaller one. My advice to up and coming producers is, you know, don't go from DAW to DAW trying to figure things out. Like pick your lane and then like master your DAW. You know, like learn it it's just like a woman, you know, like learn your woman. Don't go jumping from woman to woman, you know, learn your woman. And once you learn her, you're good to go, bro. Like, you know, that's really my advice, because so many producers are just so caught up on, oh, I want the best, you know, equipment to make them. No, I've seen people make beats off of Fruity Loops that sound amazing. Like, it doesn't matter what you're using. It's like, it's just about the sword that you have. It's like, yo, like, learn how to use your sword. Remember back in the day, Ninth Wonder was making all that stuff that Little Brother had off of Fruity Loops.
Wow.
That was all them beats that he made for the minstrel show was mostly made off Fruity Loops.
Wow.
So, you know, it's not about, you know, the piece of equipment that you're using. It's about how you use it and how you know, how you make those beats, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really dope. Brothers now are doing it on their phone. There's all these new apps, you know, and you want to kind of like, especially like as a golden era aficionado of hip hop, I want to somehow like downplay that and be like, nah, it's gotta be vinyl, techniques, and an MPC. But it really is the producer's ear and their talent.
It is, and that's really what it is. It's like, you know, I know some of the old heads that are, you know, that want to, okay, they don't want to, like, the gatekeeping, like, hey, you know, y'all out here getting stuff off YouTube and off of you know, iTunes and stuff. Like, we had to go find that stuff. We had to go find it out of the crate, and, you know, I mean, I get it and I respect it. You know, I definitely respect that. But, you know, I feel like sometimes they try to downplay, you know, the newer producers who just, you know, they do it their way, you know, and that's, as long as the music is good, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
it doesn't, you know?
I think that there's a lot to be said about sample packs that are produced by hip hop heads that have already, they've played it. They play it, they create new content, they create new music that you can then sample and not have to worry about sample clearance. Right. So if you got a dope band and y'all kind of go into the music sample library, music library, loop library, if you got a dope band and y'all go into that to pay your bills, and you're creating a lot of dope content, how can you hate on that? Because the producers flip it. Exactly. Each producer's gonna take, you know, how many times have you heard a sample and 5 different producers have use the same sample?
So when I made Roman Candles, that sample was used, I think, for a Ghostface song, and I flipped it and I made it into my own. And when I sent it to Coach, he was like, "Bro, you know that's the joint that Ghostface used." I'm like, "It is," but I flipped it in a way where you can't even notice it. He was like, "Bro, that's crazy." He was like, "Yeah, that's insane." You know, so it's like you said, it's all about what you do with it. You know. So it's really about putting your own spin on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. You've had the chance already to work with some dope MCs. Can you name for us some of the dope artists that you had a chance to work with as a producer already?
Okay, so Jamil, Staxxx, obviously the camp comes first. Jamil, Staxxx, Josiah. I did some work with Sub, Mickey Diamond, Big Trip, Naps and Dreads. Who else? My bro Rain, Ace Cannons. So many people. Like, I just, you know, I'm just blessed to be in this type of, you know, pure is different too. Pure is definitely he's crazy. So yeah, listen, it's just, you know, I'm just trying to build my resume and just work with great artists, you know. So, and like I said, I don't have a favorite, you know, but you know, they all served, you know, they were all great, you know, great people to work with, you know. So
yeah, they all bring their sauce.
Exactly.
Everybody's voice is different, their mind is different, the pen moves different.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So
what's it feel like as a producer, right? Like you go into your bat cave and create some heat. Create a lot of heat, right? You got a little beat packet and you send it off. And then it comes back with somebody who, you know, you've listened to their album, you rock with them, and then you hear a Maze overlay and AR on one of your beats. From the producer's perspective, as a creative that then has these other dope creatives and they created something new over something that you made as an instrumental, what's that experience like?
It's definitely dope, you know, because it's actually the combination of minds. It's like, you know, anybody can rap a certain way, but like when they take your art and trying to turn it into something that you never thought it could be, it's definitely a, you know, a different type of feeling, you know? So, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely dope when, you know, when you get those placements and, you know, you're like, man, like they really rapped over my beat. Like, it's, you know, it's like it's a dope feeling, you know, especially me being new in the game when I first started and I was getting these placements. And I'm like, I used to sit back like, this is insane. Like, I'm getting these placements so quick. And Jamil was like, bro, like you different, man. Like he's like, bro, I didn't get my first placement for a good like 6 years. He was like, bro, it was like a minute. Like he was like, yo, I produced for a while, but he was like, yo, you just hit the ground running and just started, you know, making beats. He was like, yeah. It's almost like I hate to say it, but he actually said this last night. He was like, it's almost like the LeBron factor. Like you came into the league and just started killing people. He was like, yo, like that don't happen.
Yeah.
You know, so he was, you know, so he was just like, yeah, it's like it doesn't happen like that, you know. So you're definitely one of the rare ones. So I'm like, you know, I'm just blessed to be in that I guess in that space, and you know, just have people around me that want to see me win, and you know, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep working.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Let's talk about some of the people around you, right? You do have a solid team. We talked a little bit about Black House Records. Who are some of the people that have been there and that are helping you with your career?
Okay, so right now it's just Black House consists of me, Staxxx, and Jamil. That's it right now. So you know we're from the ground up. We're building. We're building. But you know I just feel between the three of us, we've worked with so many different people that it's almost like, you know, because I said this to Jamil a while back. I was like, yo, whenever Black House and the Umbrella link up, we always do some great shit. Like, you know, I was on Big Trip's album, his last album. I produced 2 joints on there. Jamil has done joints with Mickey and Pro, and you know he was on Bolo Young. Like it's almost like a combination of families. It's like, yeah, we always combine our shit, and it just sounds crazy, you know. So, but yeah, Black House is only just us 3 right now, you know. So I mean, obviously, and Coach as well, but you know, it's just us 3 right now rocking out, and you know, the family is gonna grow, you know, with time, you know. So.
And you're a dope producer, and Jamil's a dope producer.
Jamil,
you know what I'm saying?
Savage. Jamil's a savage. Like I'll make a beat, and then he'll send me something. I'll be like, oh my god! Like you ever get this like the disgusted face? Like
I'm
gonna turn my
funky face.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my MPC for the day. I'm good. Like I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But nah, Jamil is one of them ones. He's one of the illest rappers out right now, and his production should never be you know, slept on. He's different.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Those Baltimore kids.
Woo.
You were born in New York, right? And you stay out in New Jersey now. Tell us a little bit about like where you were born, where you came up, and where you're at now.
Okay. So I was born in Manhattan, and then I was raised in the Bronx. We moved out to South Jersey, I guess my freshman year of high school. So you know, I still know New York like the back of my hand, but I've been out in South Jersey for a while now. So yeah, I've been out here for a minute, and yeah, you know, it's just, you know, eventually I want to get off the East Coast because I've been here like most of my life. I want to see different things. Like I would love to come out west and just experience. Like I heard it's more laid back. It's like, you know, it's more of a chill vibe. You know, out here everything is so fast paced. You know, like you're getting to it. You know.
Yeah, no, I can share. Like, so I'm a transplant. I'm from DC. I'm out here in LA.
Okay.
And I grew up. You know, I got cousins out in Brooklyn, so I grew up summers in New York. And you know, up and down the East Coast. You know how the East Coast is, man. You're right outside Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, I'm about a half hour from Philly.
Yeah, so that whole, basically from DC to New York, that whole Philly, Wilmington, Baltimore,
all that,
right? That whole thing's a vibe.
Yeah.
And out here, it's so different, bro, that it's like another country. You know, so like they speak English. You know what I'm saying? It's America, but it's way different.
Yeah,
it's way different, and it's kind of like, you know, laid back, but like not really, man. Right? Yeah, not really. Like it's like people are mad cool, but they're not friendly either. Like it's like people are more friendly on the East Coast, believe it or not, but they're tougher. So East Coast is tough. There's a lot of attitude, and you know, and personalities are big. You know what I'm saying? And like very assertive, right? Yeah. And out here, you kind of like more. It's more like you're invisible.
Yeah. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a whole other fuck with your mind type of vibe. It's like I don't see you.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
like a whole it's like almost like if you think like MMA, right? Like
Yeah.
you think like boxing style or like karate style, and then there's like grappling style and wrestling style. It's like a whole other wave that I'm learning too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, this is not like, do you have a big personality? Are you out there? Are you showing up to things? Are you being Nah, it's like you're invisible.
You invisible.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
It's like a whole, you gotta kind of like, you know, like it's real, it's dope. But I'll tell you, like, I love LA as an East Coast cat. Like, I love LA. I love the vibe and everything. So I think you definitely should come check it out. But just know that it's a whole different game.
I just heard that like the traffic is insane. So like driving anywhere, it would take you 2 hours just to go down the street.
It's
like
crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's
crazy. But if you're used to 95, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're used to the East Coast, it's comparable to 95.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's comparable to 95. It's about the, you know, traffic's bad everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
okay.
Talk to us about your plans this year. We got Blessings dropping, right? Then we got the full length coming after that, right?
Yep.
Talk to us about your year, what you're trying to do with placements, what you're trying to do with Coach and Black House Records.
Okay, so basically, I am producing Staxx's next album, Natty Bo. That's going to be crazy as well. Shout out to Staxxx. That's coming as well. My bro Rain. I don't know if you know who he is. Great artist. I actually did some production for him on the Quill 3, which is coming as well. So that's coming, and you know, I'm just here working, just trying to get better, man. Like between that and just really just, you know, trying to get more music out there. You know, everybody sees me cook up on the daily and see stuff, but just like, yo, Trav, we want to hear some more stuff from you, bro. So that's my goal this year, is to really get more music out there and just, you know, really, you know, work with different artists, you know, and just, you know, experience different things, you know, because every artist has a vibe that's very different. I also have the Triangle Offense project coming with me, my bro Sire, and Xavier. It's going to be like a 12-track joint. We each produce 4 songs off that. That's going to be good. I'm actually going to send you a song that I did off there. I'll send it to you. It's actually pretty dope.
That's dope.
I'll send it to you. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, it's just a year of just forward movement, man. Just trying to get better at my craft too. That's another thing. I mean, that's my other, I guess, advice to a new producer. Don't go chasing placements. You know, just work on your craft and the placements will come to you. You don't need to worry about chasing that person, chasing this person. When you're dope and when you're good at what you do, or when you put your time in, people notice that and they go, oh yeah, I want to work with him because he works hard. You know, like, you know, people see me on my lives and, you know, I'm always making beats because like I put the time in. I want to produce music, you know? So you know, just don't go chasing places, man. Just worry about, you know, getting better at your craft and everything else will come.
That's dope. That's dope.
You know?
Yeah. So. You know, you talk about creating live on the live stream.
Yeah.
And your use of social media as a tool is part of, I think, your secret sauce, right? Yeah. It's like one of the ways that you've been able to collaborate with really dope artists and MCs, grow your network and connect with people like myself.
Right.
Talk to us about how you've used social media. Was that just, you know, you just started doing it? How did you get game from somebody? Kick game for people on how you've used social media and leveraged it to actually grow your career.
So basically, so from day one, I said, yo, y'all are going to see this process from start to finish. Like from me starting out, pressing the pads for the first time to me gradually getting better. And I didn't do it for like attention or nothing like that, but I did do it just to show people that, yo, you can do this too if you really want to do it. You know, it's not about, oh, you know, because there was one time, I'll tell you real quick, there was that one time where I was like, yo, I want to be a producer so bad, but I feel like I wouldn't be good enough to do it. And my boy Xavier, the one I just, you know, talked about, we were at a cookout like 2.5 years ago, and I told him, I was like, bro, I want to make beats, because he's been doing this for a long time. He's dope. Xavier is one of the illest producers I know. Him and Sire are definitely top tier, you know, crazy producers. So, you know, we're talking at this barbecue, and he's like, bro, like if you really want to do this, get your shit, and I'm gonna teach you how to do it. So
wow.
I bought my machine. I think it was like probably like a month or two later, and that from that day on, it was just every day. I would spend 10, 12 hours in front of my laptop. And like, I remember one time my mom would, you know, come by and she'd be like, have you eaten today? I'm like, I think so. And I'd be like, no, I haven't eaten. And it'd be like, I would start at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it'd be like 7 o'clock at night. I'd be like, I haven't eaten anything all day. I was like, oh shit, let me eat something. But that's how locked in I was, you know, just every single day, just trying to get to it, because I wanted to make music and I wanted to learn how to do it. And I'm just like, yo, you got to put your 10,000 hours in. Ooh, you got to.
Good.
You know what I mean? You definitely got to put your time in. You know, I'm still putting mine in. You know, I mean, I don't know where I'm at now, but you know, I'm always trying to put some time in, and you know, just get better at my craft. You never be complacent about where you are as a producer. Like, always try to learn something new. Thank God I have a plethora of people that I can talk to that have definitely helped me out on my journey, and I'm grateful for that. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. No, I think that, you know, your story is really interesting, because a lot of the artists that have the placements that you have, that have worked with cats like Jamil Honesty and Josiah the Gift, and Mickey Dallas, they've got, you know, 30,000 hours and have, you know, a massive catalog. Yeah. That's why they're working with these big names. Right. But your ear and your ability to put sound together the way that you do has, like Jamil said, you cut the line. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the way that happened is dope, and it's a blessing. Can you talk to us about how you've actually reached out and improved your skill set, how you've honed the craft, who you've tapped? Have you done it through online tutorials? Have you done it with the triangle off the entire? Talk to us about how you've gotten better and you've accelerated your development. How did you do that?
So basically, you know, between me just always being I always want new information. So I feel like sometimes, even like as producers and even as men, sometimes we're scared to ask other people questions, because it's like it stunts our I guess us being men. It's like we want to learn it on our own. Like, no, we don't need no help. But no, there's nothing wrong with tapping your brother on the shoulder who's been doing this for 10 years, going, yo, bro, how did you mix your drums like that? How did you chop your sample like that? How did you, like, I'll never be the type of producer that's like, oh, bro, you need to learn it on your own. Like, no, I'm the type where if I know something that can benefit you and help you, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna help you, you know, because I'm paying it forward, you know, like that's really what it is. Like I said, I have a plethora of people in my corner who I'll call at 8, 9 at night while I'm making a beat. Yo, bro, how'd you such and such? Yeah, turn this down a little bit, maybe add that. You know, I have friends that give me those gems, and they're the same way. They're like, bro, like, I'm here to help you. Like, you know, that's you know, that's really what it is. But you know, 9 times out of 10, between that, I really like, I call it YouTube University. I go right on YouTube and I'll look at all that stuff, like how to mix your drums better, how to make this sound like that, how to make this sound like that. Like, the YouTube has a lot of stuff at your, like, you know, that you could use at your disposal, that it's like, yo, you can learn how to you could be an ill producer just being on, you know, YouTube, just watching those tutorials, you know?
Yeah, that's dope. I like that, YouTube University. That's going to be part of my lexicon moving forward, because it's like that, man. Whenever you want to know something, you just look it up on YouTube.
Go on YouTube. There's times where I fixed things in my car. I went right on YouTube and I found out how to do it. I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, yesterday we were on Venice Beach performing live, and there's a generator we hadn't turned on in like a long time. We had you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, how does this joint work again? YouTube University. That's how we found out.
YouTube
1 minute and 30 seconds, we had the generator pumping.
Bang, just like that. Yep. So yeah. Don't be afraid to go look right there on YouTube, because it's there for you. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely,
just,
bro.
You know?
Yeah. The new single Armageddon dropped last night. It features Maze Overlay, AR. It's the lead single off the debut project, Blessings, dropping in a couple of weeks. That's got a lot of dope tracks, artists like Jamil Honesty. There's a single on there that's going to be with Bubstyles and Chubs and Dusty Reynolds, and I think we're all waiting for that. You know, like Factz Joe says, yesterday's price is not today's price. Definitely. Right? As the catalog gets bigger, as the network gets bigger, the net worth goes up, price going up. How do people go about getting some of this dope 88 Blessed Beat sound?
So basically, you got to reach out to Coach. So basically, if you want, you know, me to, you know, produce on your album or whatever, yeah, you definitely got to reach out to Coach, and he sets all that up. You know, when it comes to beats, wherever it comes to interviews, as you know, you got to go through Coach. So that's basically what it is. So
that's dope, my brother.
Yep,
that's dope. New project, Blessings, dropping in the next couple of weeks. Single drop today.
Yep.
This is a 6-piece. There's a bigger project coming later this year. Yes. Plus mad production that you're going to be doing for Staxxx 410 and for other artists.
Yep.
My brother, it's been an honor to have you on. I'm really happy.
So
I've been watching the growth, the way you've been cooking up online.
Thank you so much.
This is your year, 2024.
Listen, that's what it's all about, man. I'm just trying to, just get better at my craft. That's the first thing, and I'm thankful for y'all being on the journey with me. And like I said, I'm just gonna keep putting out, great music.
That's what's up. 88 Blessed Beats. Salute, my bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on, man.
Thank you, my brother. Peace.